patrons
Four,
and adventurers.
Three,
You're still counting down?
Two.
Welcome to the Othmerweizen Tavern for another beautiful game on Tuesday. What's up? You have something to say?
No, I was counting down. This is go.
Oh, go! I'm already gone.
Yeah. Where are you?
No, just kidding. Hey, welcome, viewers. Back to another epic adventure of an unnamed group for the Othmerweizen Tavern. For tonight's game, I'll be using Sirenscape for the foreseeable future. Shoutouts just to everyone who's been watching and enjoying the game. Hope, if you guys keep on watching, hope we keep making things that are fun for you guys.
Yeah.
So we'll do a recap real quick. I guess I'll do it. Thanks, guys. No problem.
Yeah, go ahead, Cody.
One of these times, what do you guys got?
I don't mind.
All right. When we last left our adventurers, the city of Aberth has fallen, unfortunately. Our group has now left Aslan, Kaine's hometown. They've journeyed to the Open Palm Monastery, and they had a dwarven barbarian come with them by the name of Barrick. He had some issues with rage, but he was also wanting to go to the Open Palm Monastery to find inner peace through his rage. They brought back a very valuable artifact to the monastery, which is the metronome. After getting there and very quickly were just thrust upon a certain situation to put the metronome back where it belonged. They had a quite little task with the metronome giving off light every second, so there was some movement issues and some shadows appeared. But they were able to get the metronome back to where it belonged after Rakell knocked it back off. Thanks, Kaine. That was good. Point of inspiration. And it was put back in its place, and it now seems to be functioning properly. They defeated the shadows with Rakell going down, but
Nope, never happened.
Never happened. different timeline. And then they did that, and after everything was done, they discovered the internal rage of Barrick as he could not control himself as he started attacking his new comrades. But that has all been addressed, and Barrick is now kind of whittling some wood with groundskeeper Gavin staying close to him, trying to calm him down, with Rakell in a doorway of a secret door that he found with his with getting knocked around. I guess he got some good sights of what was happening. Without further ado, one last little shout out quick to Gorilla Mask. Check out his sites or his page on TeePublic. Has some awesome art and some awesome t-shirts. I'm 2 days short, or else I would have been having my shirt to wear tonight. But we'll go with karaoke. Cool. And so without further ado, you guys are still in that chamber. It is now visible of light. The metronome seems to be giving off light, but not in a time sequence manner. It is just glowing a light that has lit up the room. Has casted your shadows are still burnt into the ground. Rakell is standing at a doorway that he has found that is opened. You heard a little voice call from inside that room that led you to that direction.
What's that guy? Groundskeeper?
Gav. If you want his full name, I can give you his full name. But
good. Gab Dog.
I assumed Rakell would come up with a nickname for him, so we gave it to him. Yes, and the voice that you heard was very familiar. It sounded very much like Lyric. So, without further ado, let's get into tonight's episode. Tonight's tale of the Othmerweizen Tavern. Fill your drinks, get a meal ready. Here we go. So, you can hear Barrick breathing heavily and frustration look upon his face, but he is focused in on his wood carving. As you take a look at Gavin, in one of his ears seems to be almost like a blanket over... we ready to fight something here? Where's that bell coming from? Oh, that was mine. I was like, that's the new track. Anyways, Gavin is comforting Barrick. Rakell and Graff are close to this new doorway with Jane floating in the air. And Zukk is is standing still beside the metronome now. Finally got into the thick of things.
Yes.
What would you guys like to do?
What's your plan here, Rakell?
What'd you find over there, bud?
Huh. Just a door after I put my hands in some holes. I'm gonna go inside. I'm not gonna go inside.
Funny enough, though, you do hear those bells. They do chime through. You're going to walk into the doorways?
I'm very intrigued.
You are very intrigued. All right, so you enter in a very dark chamber. The hallway itself is 10 feet wide. Looks like it goes on for about 30 feet before the light that is coming from Jane kind of dissipates and it's just darkness up ahead. To the left and right, you do see stone statues. There is lots of cobwebs in here. There is some dust. And with the light shining from Jane, again, the shadows themselves play a little trickery here in this room. They seem to dance, I guess. So the statues are into the wall. There is a carved in alcoves, pretty much. And it looks like up ahead about another 10 feet, there seems to be another set of 2 statues. This chamber you've never been in. You do know this section. Blarick has told you about it, that he has a nether, not as friendly as your competitive competitions that you guys have. This was more of like an enemy in the monks. Him and them always butted heads. But you've heard of this chamber, and this is where the room that you were just in was where the meetings of the Way of the Shadows would meet. In this monastery, it is different from most monasteries because it houses a lot of the different ways of the monk. So, you're in about 5-10 feet.
Hey, groundskeeper Gavin.
Sorry, just a second. Yes.
What's down here?
That is a quarantined room. You should not venture much further. Now that the shadows have been lifted, I'm sure Headmaster Armac would like to speak with you before you go any further. But I cannot stop you.
Did I hear the voices too, or is that just Rakell hearing voices?
Roll a perception check for me, just to see if you hear the voices too.
16.
16, yeah. You would have heard some voices calling for Rakell.
There's voices coming from down here. Do you know anything about that?
From my understanding, there was a great ceremony held here to protect the monastery's lower levels from the Shadowfell after the metronome was taken.
Maybe we should wait before we go any further, Rakell. Doesn't sound pleasant down here.
I'm with Gavin about not going down there.
You guys are always so scared of the dark.
Well, it did just try and kill us.
Yeah. You did just go unconscious.
Just another day.
He wakes up, starts putting his hands in holes. Jeez.
I can only bring you back so many times.
Well, if you insist. I'll start making my way out.
Out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay. You come back to the room. Gavin is now kind of helping out Barrick. Barrick is still focusing in on whittling whatever miniature he is out of the wood that he has left.
Kind of looks like little Tim.
Hey.
Yeah, I was trying to maybe put my rage into something, and maybe I'll give it to you after.
That'd be great.
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Try. Looks at Rakell. And, sorry. I get carried away.
Oh, that's okay. It happens. He does it all the time.
That's true. We do have experience with that.
He's quite a resilient one, that monk.
No friendships has a very strong bond. I can take you back up to the master, the Palm of Master's room. If you guys want to follow him.
Let's do it.
Once again, very empty as he walks you back up the stairs. going through several corridors. It's almost like a maze of different corridors in here and hallways that branch off in every direction. But if you stick to the main path, the main hallway, it doesn't take long until you get back to that room with the large 110-foot circle diameter in the middle of the room. But now it is actually lit up a little bit more. There is sun shining through a roof, although you do not see any holes where the sun is shining through. But you notice now that the ring itself is sitting on a palm, another large stone palm, holding it up, and then the hands kind of the long fingers branch back out of it, and there's seats at each of the hand as it's kind of curled up like this. And there is four humanoids sitting on each of the fingers except for the thumb. And on the middle finger, at first it looks like a normal hand, but then you realize that there is a sixth finger that comes off of it. So a large palm. Sitting predominantly kind of in the middle finger that is bent around, even though there's six fingers going around, but you can tell that the main finger sits Armac, Headmaster Armac, the one wearing the white and black gi with the hair that's gray that has the shaved lines through it, the little dots sitting there. He has his wooden staff kind of set against the throne he's sitting in. To his left is a familiar face to Rakell. It is a red-skinned humanoid that has horns that kind of go up and curl back over his head, except one seems to be broken or cut off. He has a bandage going across both eyes, a long black goatee that stretches down. His similar to the gi style, I wish I had the proper term, apologize, but it's more of like the samurai style robes, not the armament. But that is Grandmaster Redfin. Red-skinned, has the bandage across his eyes. He has a smirk on his face, and you can even see like fangs in him that he's a little excited to see someone come up the stairs with groundskeeper Gavin.
Is kimono the word you're looking for?
Komodo, thank you, Kaine.
I was
Thank you.
thinking it.
I had it on the tip of my
was
tongue,
too.
and I
I was
meant to
like-
write it down, but I was like, no, I'll remember it. And
I don't know if that was
And
right.
he
things
was
happen
on-
as your DM.
He was on
Forget.
which finger?
Groundskeeper Gavin is kind of on the middle finger, and to the left of it. Or, sorry,
Armac.
my mistake.
Armac.
It's been a long day. We'll
He's
get through
actually
this.
the leader of the
Headmaster Armac. Yeah,
Spoiling.
his big secret to the mouse. Damn, it's gonna have a big twist at the end of this, but I guess not. So yeah, sitting to his left. That's how I have it here. Yeah, is Grandmaster Redfin.
Right hand or left?
The left finger. So sorry.
Is the hand that they're all sitting on a right hand? or
Yes,
a
it
left
is.
hand?
It is a right hand. Good question, Zukk. I like that. That is a great question.
Hey man, it makes us so much like think about it.
And sorry, then sitting to the right of Armac is a cat-like looking individual. Yellow fur, a lot of spots to it. One ear seems to be cut down. Large eyes to it. Some whiskers hanging off, and is wearing more of just a common clothes of brown and greens, with a tail kind of flickering up as it's sitting down. Well, I guess I'll give you guys his name. Is Grandmaster Dungarth. Sitting to the right of Dungarth is Grandmaster Cass Ike. It is a elven female, long golden hair, skin very bright yellowish, almost orange to her. She is wearing very bright yellow and red komodo, similar to what Redfin was wearing. Then on the final finger off to the side would be Grandmaster Alwyn. He is very weird looking because he looks like he is a humanoid tree. Just more or less the skin is all bark. And that's pretty much all you see is just this bark tree. No clothes to him at all. Just
Does he have leaves?
sitting there. Yeah, there's a few leaves on him, a few vines that kind of come out and thing. The only reason you know these names is Rakell has seen all these people before. Been a while since you've seen them all sat together, though. Armac sees you all. Please enter and step into the middle of the ring.
After you, Rakell.
Yeah. Fall behind Rakell.
We are quite pleased that no questions were asked and you did what was told. Redfin is astonished, since we do remember your antics back when you were here originally. But from the feeling we have in the monastery, the goal was accomplished. The metronome is back in place.
It's no problem, Grandmaster. Just another day's work.
You look a little exhausted, a little worn for wears. I hope.
I haven't had a drink in hours.
Redfin actually learned some new tricks, eh, buddy? You remember Redfin was never really too harsh on you. He just was hesitant about coming out of retirement, but he has a very playful attitude. He's likes life.
And just give him a grin.
Grins back, and even though you can't see his eyes, you see the eyebrow kind of go down as if he's winking at you. We thank you for bringing back the metronome. We know who acquired it without our permission, but we hold no ill will towards them. They did what they thought was right at the time, but they did not pay attention to consequence. Are you here to live, Rakell?
Oh, just stopping by. Just returning what was lost.
We appreciate that.
Must really be on our way.
If you must, you can leave. But if you need sanctuary, the place is yours to do with as you wish. We are in the process of rebuilding. The great cleansing has happened, and we will learn from our mistakes.
What was our travel time to get here? Like,
From Aslan to get here?
Yeah, I can't remember.
You took the main road. You
So
rested
then-
at night, so it took you about 3/4 of a day. So it is getting late afternoon now.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't take you long. Like, you guys literally got in here and got rushed. I had to rush things. But yes, you got here, so it's probably late afternoon. If you'd leave, there'd probably be another 2 hours of sunlight or so. Because, yeah, it was about half a day's travel. You had steeds, so you made it quite quickly down a mountain path. So.
Might as well rest here.
I stepped past Rakell. Masters, I apologize for my family's arrogance in stealing the metronome. I am happy to see it returned to its rightful home.
As are we. We can restore the balance to this place.
If it is not too much hindrance, I believe me and my party would like to stay the night and be on our way in the morning.
Yes, by all means, that we could make the proper accommodations. There is no shortage of room to stay. This place has been quite empty for a while, so.
Perhaps we could spread the word that you are back into business.
Stomach is making noise. What are you doing?
If you do spread the word, please.
At your discretion.
Oh yes, of course. No, we are awaiting someone to return before we can advertise that we'd be open again.
Who would that be, by chance? Your brightest pupil is here. I kind of joke.
Redfin. That is enough, Redfin. You guys called me out of retirement to train him, and I'm just so happy. We are awaiting the Burning Fist. Part of a prophecy. As with most prophecies, they are spoken in riddles. But 3 out of the 7 have been mentioned already, have been seen. So we expect this threat to come back in the next couple of months.
Do you care to, if you're able to, elaborate on what
By
you're
means.
the 3 of the 7? What?
Who's the Burning Fist?
A old pupil who's trained here. He was extinguished, but we believe he has been reincarnated and is coming to seek vengeance. But us sitting here will, aligned again and with balance at our side, we should be able to either make him understand or we will make him perish again.
What were these 3 out of 7 things you say you saw?
Ah,
What is a
prophecy.
prophecy?
Ah, the prophecy. Like I said, most prophecies are just riddles and we pay them no mind, but this one seems is a very ancient one. And it is just too much of a coincidence. As the first line of the prophecy is, the moon shall shine bright on the dark cattle. And we have heard rumors from Aberth that such sights have been seen.
Couldn't tell you.
Interesting.
The second part is the red child would be born again.
Red child?
The red child, yes.
What's his face? Red? The guy who killed Vincent? I'm kind of talking.
No, I know you're all saying there. It's very quiet in here.
I'm
Acoustics are great.
I was just talking out of,
No.
out of character.
No, it's okay.
I was just trying to get some clarification on if it. Was that guy Red? The mech guy who killed.
Oh, not telepathically, James. Is that guy red?
A reddish colored fur with almost a pink hue to it.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
probably him. Okay.
The third was metal shall hang in the skies. Or sorry, metal shall come from the stars.
What's the next part of the prophecy? Just curious. Not that the first 3 ever happened.
So just read the whole thing out. To be honest, I'm curious about the whole thing.
Well, the third. That was the red.
Third was the metal of hate.
Yeah, sorry, metal hanging from the stars. That's the third. The fourth is the great serpent shall swallow the red gem as well as the white.
Make sure you're taking this down, Zukk.
I'm buried right into my notepad.
You always are.
Tell me when you want the next.
Good.
The steps to the moon shall be completed.
Raise an eyebrow at that one, like Zukk does.
Sorry, I said the steps. I
Moon.
should say the bridge shall be completed.
There's moons. Yeah. Anyways.
That was 4/5 is around the 6th.
We're on the 6th now.
Oh, jeez.
4th was the swallow the gems.
Yeah. To elaborate more on the gems part, the gems of the sky.
Oh. Okay.
All right, the 6th would be the disease of anti-life will take hold. All right. And last and final one.
The heroes shall rise.
Rebirth.
Gemini should be lifted or uprooted from the ground.
Gemini?
Nice.
You excited?
Yeah, that's good. Who foretold these prophecies?
Oh, I did.
I still got it. Redfin's kind of leaning in now. He's just amused. But the other four figures, besides Iraq and Redfin, they haven't said a word. They're just staring at you guys.
Well,
We do not know who wrote these prophecies, but they came from the great arcane library. Well, salvaged from the
I
arcane
trust
library.
we are among friends.
We are.
We can confirm that the first three have taken place.
Excellent. Can you elaborate, chap?
We can show you part of it.
The third
Point
part,
for
we
him.
can-
The
third
rest of
part
them
we
all
can-
kind of like lean in and like almost like in unison and in sync. They all like
The first
And,
prophecy we seen when we actually first banded as a group, we seen these mooncaps fly over Aberth.
Kasaki, that was her name, sorry. And Alwyn, they exchange glance as soon as you say the mooncalves. And they nod and
Sorry, what was the second one?
Metal
Red guy.
from the stars.
The red guy?
That guy.
Nope. Or yeah, sorry.
Second one was right now. That's all I wrote down.
We can show you the second prophecy.
Red man. Does. Oh shit.
Jane's just gonna.
is she going to play the edited version
Yeah.
again, or is she
she's
going to
actually
play
just gonna show an image of that person.
Yeah, perfect. That's even better.
Redfin, who has a constant smile, now turns to a very angry look.
It's just gonna project like
Yeah, and it does.
And,
And like you see the like green laser, or sorry, it's the bluish lasers come up and they kind of do a cross edge 80s style, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it folds, and it's just a very intimidating presence of the size of this guy through the illusion magic.
this image was from.
And they lean back, and they're like,
His name, Jane?
Jane does not know his name.
I thought we did know the name. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I apologize.
I thought it was
And the
one.
third prophecy Jane can show you is
This could just be a coincidence that this hobgoblin here has the red fur of thing, but in an event such as you've just mentioned that Aberth has fallen, we are aware. We have heard, but
he is
we have lost touch with Aberth long
Burning
ago,
Fist.
so.
Wait,
What is the name of
did you
this?
guys train a hobgoblin? Is Burning Fist a hobgoblin?
No. He is a tiefling, similar to Redfin.
I apologize. I mean, no offense.
Do not apologize. Inquiries are what liquidate the mind. It quenches thirst.
And Jane can show you the third prophecy as well.
Once again, image dissolves, and then the big oxyhedron. I think I said that right. I do, but I can never say it right. Once again, sorry viewers, I cannot pronunciate for the life of me. But yes, it shows it glowing, and then it just kind of sums. And once again, just the image of it flashes back. You guys feel the trauma, I'd assume, of what you've seen the full video, and then they all kind of nod. And yes, it was seen from the top of the monastery. We felt it in the earth when it let loose its first offensive.
No, I fear that the fourth may be upon us at any moment.
It is true.
Do you have any insight into what the fourth prophecy could entail?
Several thoughts come to mind, but Alwyn seems to believe it might have something with the Sisters of the Serpent.
Interesting.
No.
What is the great and white gem? Sky gem.
Is
If
that the two different moons?
do you ask that out loud, or are you asking me?
I was wondering what colors the two. I know there's two moons. What colors?
There's three moons.
There's 3. Oh, well, apparently I stand corrected.
And yet it hasn't affected gravity. No, just kidding. Fantasy.
The ocean's fucked.
Everything's magic. Yeah. Well, you've seen the magic. Anyways, sorry. Bring it back. As you ask that out loud, they all nod in agreement. They're like, that is very astute of you. That's very weird.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, they believe. We believe that the great serpent, as we've studied some of the Sisters of the Serpent, they strongly believe that the
Dendar.
exactly. They have a ritual that they have been preparing for some time, and they think that if they are successful, that the purple moon itself is Dendar and will swallow the other 2 moons, and then the land will be cast in nightmare.
Are any of you...
But then again, this is all prophecy, riddles, folklore.
3 of 7 is, I think, a little bit more than just prophecy. Also, who sits on that thumb? Or that finger?
Another one that we have exiled. After the metronome was taken, he sought more comfort in shadow than in his colleagues. Redfin, Rakell, I don't know really what to tell you, but Lyric has prolonged the life of the monastery. Shadowfang is what he was called. Exactly, not just a clever name. He was the Fang of the Shadow. We believe something from the Shadowfell reached to him when the metronome was taken. And he put a bind on the shadow section of the monastery that prevented us from going down there to right the wrongs. And that's what the metronome was not designed to be put in that place, but that is where it was the most useful. Lyric did something that we were unaware that he was capable of. Has he ever been able to, without sounding like a child here, Rakell, was he good at shadow puppets?
Frighteningly so, actually, yes.
And it is true. He found a way to split himself. He was fighting as 2. Him and his shadow were allies, fighting against Shadowfang and the rest of his shadows. They are long forgotten warriors who once trained here or he recruited. But deep within that chamber, they had secrets that they hid from us, and since we weren't able to go in to find out, Lyric was able to find out that there is a rip to the Shadowfell further in that room. Gavin has mentioned he has heard Lyric still around, and we think even around the area, even outside, he has ways of reaching out. But after this ritual was done, we could not find Lyric, but we could still see shadows of him, as well as his playful nature that I think he adapted from you.
I'm gonna look around as just casually.
Very bright. I was looking around at this palm that's kind of in the center, and it almost looks like it's held aloft by nothing. Like it looks like it's not floating there, like not up and down, but it's just, you don't see the base of the palm or whatever's holding it. But along the sides of the room, it's like a large coliseum. There's like bleachers, well, like stands that kind of look into the middle where this ring is, and then the fingers out.
Does this area pose a threat to your monastery?
Not anymore. With the metronome being back in its place, it should in time seal up the rift. We ourselves will go down there and investigate now that the hold on the room has been broken. We will Kasaki, the way of the Sun Soul will bring life back to this room and seal the rift.
That's good to hear.
It is. Your timing could not have been better with the metronome.
Good job, Rakell. You should have seen him down there. Defeated 10, 20 shadows by himself. Sober, to boot.
That's the
Here,
most impressive feat of them all.
Bear kind of speak up.
I-
Yeah, but and then Gavin just like, it's okay. Pets him down a bit. He stops.
Fucking barrack. Trying to ruin everything.
But yeah, so you guys are all staying there. They've kind of divulged what they know. They are aware that Aberth has fallen, but they just kind of mentioned that they've been out of touch with Aberth for a while. One other thing they just kind of get across to you is that the reason why it is empty is they are going to be rebuilding, but they've also sent out everyone after a couple artifacts went missing, and some of their prized pupils are actually out searching for other artifacts that were held in this place.
Now this may be overstepping my boundary, but when we leave tomorrow, any help would be much appreciated. I know you were in a rebuild, but
We could, Eric,
whether it
Iraq,
Whether-
Armac
sorry.
talks again. We could provide you with some healing ointments and maybe some restoration herbs that might be able to help you in your journey.
that would be greatly appreciated.
Gavin, do you mind culling some of your garden for our patrons? But they've grown. Yes, I will.
I'd love to give you a hand with that, Gavin.
Okay. I can wait for you when you awake, or we can go do it now.
You're like the size of his foot.
Oh yeah, you're like
It'd be awesome.
He
We can
looks
go
down.
get it done now real quick.
most definitely. Armac again, kind of. If this is all, Rakell, you can show them to the quarters where you stayed when you were first here. We will speak with Barrack here and see what we can do to help out his situation.
He's been in tons of trouble.
Hey, man!
But
like
he
I
was
know my
helpful.
I get a little upset, but I'm here now. It's fine. All
He
right.
drank all
Just
of
let him-
Rakell's liquor.
I
Get over that, Kaine. He did not.
shakes his head and kind of walks by.
Maybe it was Lyric who drank it all in his shadow form.
I say as I like give him the eyebrows and like look around ominously. Just kidding.
Gavin has spoke of incidents outside of the monastery where he thinks some playful nature may have been done, and we think Lyric is. At least his shadow still wanders the area.
If you'd be so kind, Rakell.
Yes, I'll lead them right away, Grandmaster.
Thank you for your.
Redfin is like, hey, Gavin. He looks a little thirsty. Show him where the good stuff is.
I
Okay, but that really burnt. He can handle it. All right. Okay. My little Zukk, we will need to take a moment to go get some ale and wine.
Alrighty. I'll try and keep up as fast as my little legs can carry me.
He reaches down, if you mind,
I'm so happy.
picks you up, puts you onto his shoulders there, and his flappy ear kind of like makes
Hey,
a
Kaine,
seat for
look
you.
who's looking down on here now, bud?
Oh, it appears you are tall.
This is awesome!
Don't get used to it.
I give the masters a gracious bow. Thank you for your kind hospitality.
You have done us a great favor. If there's anything we can do now or in the future, send word.
I leave, follow
Mhm.
Rakell.
All right. So, Rakell, you take him Roll a survival check for me. With disadvantage. 'cause you're exhausted.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
true.
No, 17.
17?
Yep.
You find your way at first. You almost want to fuck with them a bit, but you find the right way. You know exactly where you're going. You find your old quarters.
Rakell.
Everything's very bare, though. And pretty much the only places to sleep are like stone slabs. Even some of the area trading rooms, it looks like there's no equipment in there whatsoever. But everything's there. You guys find a quiet room. There's rooms that hold like 6 slabs each where 6 people can sleep. And Rakell knows the best place to go to, too. Just one
This
quick
slab
question
is
while you're
just-
riding Groundskeeper Gavin. Where's Tim at this moment?
He's stuck in my pocket.
Okay,
and I'm
perfect.
not
Just
moving
double
around.
checking. Just double checking. So he takes you actually to that opening garden room that you came in.
Tim will die one day.
Oh, sorry. He goes to the offshoot down one of the hallways right after or right before the garden.
Good Zukk.
And he takes you in a room where there is like some old bottles and some jugs and casks and very a lot of cobwebs and whatnot are all on it. It looks like it hasn't been touched in a while. Redfin has his own stash.
Yeah. It's like not the monks don't seem to be much of the drinkers, eh, Gavin?
Redfin has his own supply. I do find it very interesting, though. Redfin trained Rakell before he even let him know he was a drunken master. And Rakell looks like he's a drunken master. Well, a drunk.
Well, I mean, he's trying his best to become a master.
He's always tried his best. Never really succeeded, but always tried.
Yes.
We liked him. He
Lately
was
he's
good.
been having trouble in the drunken part of the mastering technique.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe. Do you think he can stomach our strongest ale?
Yes.
Sorry, strongest liquor?
I think he would love to try it.
We will grab him the strongest liquor and the most brightest of sprites.
Perfect.
He holds you and you get lifted up to like the top shelf, and then there's on top of the shelf.
Can I step up onto the shelf?
Certainly can.
I'm gonna do that.
Tick.
Which bottle is it? Is there just the one bottle?
Roll a investigation check.
Don't drop it.
5.
5. There you see a bottle of. You kind of pick it up, get the cobwebs off, and brush it aside. And there's this, like you swish it around, and this bottle's clear, but there's this black purplish liquid, and it almost looks like sledge when you like pour it. The viscosity to it is just.
That will do.
And then there's a bottle of clear stuff. What it looks like it has like little insect wings in it.
What's this one?
Which one?
The insect liquid. I have the.
Yeah,
purple
you have
one
the
in my
dark
hand,
liquid one.
But I want to know what the other one is because I'm intrigued. If not, I'm just taking both. Can we take this one as well?
Yes. That is called the Venus drink.
Ooh, quite the name. Hopefully it doesn't try to eat me.
Ha 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 ha. I like the humor that accompanies your group.
Why, thank you.
That other bottle is called the Dougie Doug Durgar.
Wow,
Very potent stuff.
sounds great. I'm sure he will enjoy it.
Huh.
Oh yes, I'm coming.
I didn't want to leave you at that height.
No, very well.
So you spend the rest of kind of the evening before meeting up with the group, and you go through his garden, and it's just not a lot of like. Well, yeah, no, sorry. There is a majority of all have their purposes, what they do, but the ones that would be most beneficial to you guys is these healing herbs, and as well as this restoration herb.
Does he have any hops?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you think I could make ale out of this?
With some time, this is where we use to make our supplies.
Would you mind if I harvested a bit?
By all means.
Thank you.
Not many people around here, but I keep the garden as if there were.
Well, I'll be so happy to come back and visit from time to time just to see your lovely garden.
I certainly hope so.
Thank you. I'm gonna take some hops.
All right. Take some hops. You guys get up. Anything you guys want to do for the night while you're resting?
I
After that, I'll.
just want to talk briefly to Rakell.
Yeah, you guys talk.
Rakell, while we're here, you should probably take the opportunity to further your studies in a drunken way. Perhaps a one-on-one session with Redfin.
Yes, that probably would be a good idea. I had no idea that he was actually a drunken master. They very frowned upon that here. Trust me.
Wouldn't really know he's a drunken master
No.
just from what he's trained you in. But
Oh, I know.
with how silly he is and how he acts, it kind of dawns on you now, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Piece it together.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a suggestion. If you
the glass shatters.
wait, did Kaine realize it before Rakell?
Probably.
That's probably why he hangs out with you.
He
Alright.
doesn't drink.
He. Oh, I'm not there.
Oh, where'd you go?
You-
no,
you-
you're.
you
Oh,
are.
I thought you guys
Yeah,
were all.
no.
No,
we're
he
just in the
walked you
room.
into this
As
living
we're
quarters.
walking
You guys
through
can
the-
go through your gear and make
Yeah,
sure
as we're
everything's
walking
okay.
to the room, I would strike up this conversation.
He definitely drinks. You can tell.
You could pretty much smell the booze on his breath from where we're standing.
I thought that was me.
You've been sober for the last, well, since this morning.
I haven't showered in days.
Yeah, you're drinking the weak stuff. Like, sorry to say.
And you do know that there is a bathing facility here.
That's okay.
God.
Maybe me and Graff will go bathe while you talk to your master.
No, I'm gonna go bathe too. I'm gonna relax,
Oh,
meditate.
fair enough.
You remember this room. Take a couple lefts, a little right,
I
a left
definitely
here.
do not wear my loincloth
Go down this slope,
at all.
and then it is a
No loincloths
hot
in the
spring that is
fertility room.
built into the ground with rocks and cobblestones that have all been like meticulously placed, and makes this like almost garden walkway up to it. It's all just soft stone. There is a water coming in out of the ceiling that comes down the wall, or down the wall, and you can see that it's over years of this water running. It has worn some of the rocks, but there is a steam coming off, and the place is still well kept.
Jesus, place
I
is
have no idea how
insane.
deep that is, but my naked booty, get him out! Run and jump into the tub.
I'd like you to make a dexterity. No, I'm just kidding. You splash, and there's make an athletics check for me.
That is a 14.
You clear the steps that are in the water. Rakell, you know that there is, didn't say nothing, but he clears the steps, and there's like around the rim of this large.
Is anyone else in there?
No, just you
Oh my
guys.
god.
The place is empty. Remember, Rakell may have told you that the monastery itself closed its doors long ago. Well,
Right.
not too long ago, but
Yeah.
you guys are all now in there. A very
Are you?
serene, relaxing. All your stress levels,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
keeping
going
note of, have all.
I yell forward, Kaine. Are you 4? Is that how you enter the bath? And then I run. I'm gonna do a handstand flip into the tub.
Acrobatics check.
Slip on the fucking.
We're good.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Haven't rested yet.
We're okay. 10.
It is enough. It is enough. You are familiar with this area.
Proficient.
You're a bastard.
You're familiar with the layout of this room, and you've done this probably many times. You splash right in.
All right, now you
Graff.
grab it.
I gotta take this armor off first. So take some time to.
Why didn't you take it off before you
There
got to the
are.
room?
It's
We
neat.
didn't have a
The
chance.
benches themselves look like tree trunks. In real life, it looked like they've been cut off, but just the way they branch over, it's like two trees growing out of the ground that grow into one, and there's just like a natural formation of a seat.
Cool.
So you can sit there, and
Yeah.
there's little stands to set all your stuff on. Hearing the commotion kind of after you guys have done all your stuff, them talking in the room and then going to this bathing room. Gavin with his big ears, Zukk, he'd bring you to this room. So you guys all kind of splashing away and having a laugh. And sets you down, sees you taking off your armor, presents you with the bottles. You'd probably have, just say, a pound of herbs in your bag of holding. Graff, Gavin says he'd help you take off the armament for you, to help you speed things along.
As Graff's taking off his armor, I like to come out of the pool and approach Zukk as I'm nude, and he would be about waist height. How's it going, Zukk?
Gavin, can you pick me up again? Gavin!
Looks over. That is just rude.
I turn around and go back.
He comes over and puts his hands around your waist. Well, pretty much hand around your waist. Starts
I turn
picking you
around.
up and he turns around.
Go back into the pool.
We're good. We're good.
Oh,
Thank you.
thought you were going to do a cannonball.
Oof, not fully closed. That
Tough
would not
stuff.
be good.
Gavin kind of speeds up the process for you, helps, and
Yeah.
then he's like, if there's anything you need, I will be in the hallways or the garden. You can see him, like, after you guys kind of jump and your hand staying there, you see him with his trunk, like, pick up a couple of the cobblestones, put them back into the normal places, and then walk him.
Did Zukk bring the booze?
Yeah. Hey, Cow, I got you something.
Oh.
But I want to keep the Venus one for myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm putting that one in my bag.
Clear the
And I'm
weeks.
going to,
The device you're carrying, Graff.
Gavin
Or are you just
is
setting
the
it down beside you? or
It
what?
would just stay
Dougie
on
Doug
attached to the armor.
Duragar of liqueurs.
Oh.
Dougie Doug.
Dougie Doug.
Yes. He
Duragar.
said,
Purple
I'm going to swirl it around. Take it easy on this stuff. Apparently it's strong.
Just take a big swig.
Love it.
My armor, for the most part, like stays standing up. Like I just unstrap and then like get out the back
Like
type of thing.
Iron Man style, so just
Yeah.
walk out of it into the
Yeah.
pool.
It's not that cool yet. It takes-
No, not that yet. Hey,
So it takes
there's a
about
lot
10
of like
minutes to get
straps, and like Gavin kind of just helped and
Yeah.
kind of assessed, and he did definitely compliment and said he's never seen something like this before, but kind of knew what to do. Got you all set. Yeah, so it's still standing with the device on the back of it. You guys all set up. I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That would be 7.
7. Wow. Well, buddy, you are
Is he,
literally.
taken aback from his drink. Like,
He took a big swig, smile on his face, and he doesn't move.
Just-
You are incapacitated right now.
Perfect.
is, Gavin,
Just hold the bottle, sitting there, a little bit of drool starting to come out of Rakell's mouth.
is the bottle spilling?
No, it's still stuck in his hand, and he's just like
I'm gonna
You've
grab
seen
the bottle
him.
and cork
You've
it.
seen him in a frozen position before. He's just not stoned right now. He's
I gotta stop. No cockatrice.
he just looks there.
Oof, this stuff is
A slow,
I can hear it ringing in the back of my head.
some slow blinks from him, but you are just incapacitated.
Gavin!
Takes about 2 minutes or so, that you kind of like shake your head and everything is woozy. You are.
How's that?
Yeah, you are.
You look.
You're feeling almost sick, but you're holding it together since you've started to enjoy the drink.
Huh.
You
An
look,
experience.
you look pretty.
Can I have another?
You still have the
Take the
top.
bottle. No, he took it back. Well,
I thought you just
Corked
corked it.
Oh, he
He
corked
corked
it.
it again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you please roll another Constitution saving throw?
Is this how Rakell died?
19.
Alcohol poisoning?
19. This time you're like you prepared your gut for it, swig it down, and it like takes 2 swallows. It's like Buckley's almost. But you feel like you almost feel like a size bigger than you are. Like you're like, oh yeah. You feel like you're walking around like Gavin, pretty much. You just like chest pumped out.
Going
and you're
back
just-
to the tub
yeah.
and just sit
How's
down.
Rakell look?
Here, I can hold on to that for you.
He looks like his skin's going gray and green, but he's
Perfect.
normal Rakell.
Cannonball! I'm chanting the words Graff.
I'm already in the water.
Yeah, as you look down
Cannonball!
after all this
Go
commotion,
back out!
you like
Cannonball!
you're chanting at the suit of armor, and then you like look over at
Yeah,
Graff.
I'm
like,
over in like just in the corner, just
Yeah.
like relaxing.
It is, and it's like a hot springs itself, and it feels like there's jets into it as well. This is like a very serenity.
Is it like walking depth or like swim depth?
Once you get off the steps, it is walking, and then it's just a gradual kind of bowl.
Okay. I'm gonna make my way over to Graff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw Zukk in the water.
I'm, here we go. I can hold that bottle for you.
No, that's okay. And I'm gonna head over to Graff. Graff, you gotta try this stuff that Zukk brought. It is
Yeah.
to die for.
It probably would kill me. I am not touching that.
Let's go get Zukk.
I'll bring you.
Where is Zukk right now?
He's just
Zook's in the room.
Yeah, he's just up on dry land there.
I'll be in a minute.
Maybe wait till he gets his stuff off. I don't want a little tin.
I hold the bottle up to
The
Kaine.
fun police. All right, take a sip.
Constitution saving throw.
Don't even second guess it. Your cow just gives me something I just drink.
Hey, no problem.
Just 18.
18. Drinking some of the more finer stuff, memories of Aberth come flooding back, and drinking Azer's piss. This doesn't burn as much, but it's just very thick to swallow. You wouldn't really want to drink this casually, but
Not my style.
you feel a little bit kind of manned up because you didn't really hit you as hard as it hit Rakell the first time.
Here.
And you can handle it. You feel it, but you're not.
I like the
It hasn't
feeling.
drowned you out yet.
I just don't like how it goes down.
No, it doesn't go down great.
We need to like put.
But
that
after your
through the-
second drink, you feel like your
We
balls are two giant stones.
Here, try this.
As he
Kaine.
says that, you would feel that. You feel like you're bigger than you usually.
Yeah, it's kicking. Graff, get in. On this. Get in on this, Graff.
I think I'm gonna get out.
Come on, let loose. Jeez, we're in the middle of a freaking war zone. Just one night off.
I let loose the way I let loose.
And how is
This
that?
isn't-
Getting
Not
out of his
this
armor.
way.
What? Tell me how.
I'm just gonna start walking away.
No! I start like belligerently getting loud. What the hell are you doing?
And
As
yeah,
I-
you don't see many doors in this area. The only doors you come across is those black dark ones.
Suck.
But the sound just travels through this
Come
place, and you can hear it echo through.
As soon as I step up, I'm just stepping out of the water, and I was gonna mention my gauntlet doesn't come off like when I'm walking around. Like my gauntlet.
Just zaps the
So
water.
that's what I do. I just turn around and go.
Yeah, it would amplify it. You guys get a shock, thinking it's the bottle, but no. You guys all shock, and
Is that loose enough for you?
Is Gavin still in the room?
no, Gavin left to take care of the
Okay,
garden.
I'm gonna take him out of my pocket now. Okay, I'll come in for some. But here, try this, Kaine.
What is
And
it?
I'm gonna give him the other bottle that Gavin gave me.
Oh, Sprite, the
Yes.
Venus.
Yes.
I will try this if you try
I snag
this.
it before he can even give it close
Nice.
to Kaine.
Sleight of
I
hand
slide
check?
her back.
Or wait, are you just gonna allow it, Kate?
Rakell,
Or do you
can
want to?
I'm just kind
What's
of
that?
like,
Oh, I was
He's handing out. You're gonna allow him to take it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually,
Where's my
if
dice
you,
go?
if you,
They
if you
haven't
have
been
that-
drinking in real life, just to let you know. Just, Rakell's a little.
coffee.
Yeah, coffee's good.
if you take that bottle, can I borrow that bottle for a second?
No.
Yeah. Zuck, here you go.
That's okay.
No,
I
well,
like when my feet move.
What's saving throw? Just
Yeah, Constitution. These are deadly poison.
9.
9. Whew. All right. You drink this one. Has more of a quick pine taste, almost like a ginish taste, and then you just feel like almost like your throat's closing up a bit.
Oh, jeez.
Kind of loosens out a bit. But you again you want to talk, but you can't. It's almost similar to the basilisk tongue, but it's not a heavy feeling. You're just like it just feels like something is like caught in your throat. You're not choking or anything. It's just it's almost a funny feeling. Like it's quite humorous.
Can I cut your tongue?
Exactly.
Tim-
why
Got
do
your
we party up with the fun police, Rakell? You're telling me. I take another swig. Good Dougie Durgar.
All right, roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna put my leathers back on and just like.
It's doing it here in this room.
Yeah, I would just like.
There is some mist in the air, but you're not really too concerned with it. But it's weird when you're doing the tinkering and stuff in this room. You're like peaceful.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it
exactly
feels like
how
you're
I
very
relax.
focused. And yeah, this room's just a. What'd you get?
10.
10.
Yeah.
This is your second drink of the Dougie.
Absolutely. Me and Dougie are getting along.
This time,
Maybe not
yeah,
anymore.
you are incapacitated. You freeze up just like Rakell. Stop, bottle there.
Rakell, Kaine, if you don't drink it all, I might be able to make more of it.
Well, it's a big bottle, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
these are
oh,
big,
yeah.
like
But-
Jug. No, you can't talk yet.
Wow. It's funny when it's not you on the other side.
I'm just
A moment or two passes as you're doing it, Graff, just looking at your comrades here. Kaine, you finally get some moment back, but yes, you are now. Well, it's funny because you're now poisoned, but you're drunk. You're hammered, but you do feel big.
I told you.
It's a
Carrying
clumsy
2
feeling
boulders.
though. This time, like it's like you feel strong and big, but you're just clumsy as all hell.
Zukk, how would you know?
And especially if you're drinking in the hot springs itself, the effects are pretty amplified. You guys are gooned.
Good.
Yeah.
It's relaxation day.
Kaine, check out this one.
No. Do I
It's
see
my
him?
fault. I started this. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Anyways, yeah. Roll 2 Constitution saving throws.
14 in that one.
You're out. You have like as strong in your stomach.
Down in the pool.
You were like, whoa, you're on the champ, but you don't know if it's the mix of
Both
the
the
gin and the
bottles are
throat
just
closing
getting
up and the
mixed
thick
with
liquid going in. You're just kind of. You just see Kaine like, or you just see Rakell like 10-man float in the water.
Look at him. Can you swim, Zukk?
I hope so.
Because you cannot walk in that water.
No, I definitely.
The first step you could stand on the kind of the.
I'll drift close to the steps eventually.
Zukk, my question to you is, how you know how to make it if you're not gonna try it?
Well,
Hey, you can't play.
judging by the I'm like 1/8 your body size. Look what it
Jane
did to
does
you guys.
pick up.
Well, we'll take
how
for
far-
a tiny little.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I think something's wrong with Rakell.
For the
He might need some saving.
How far is the bottle like from me right now? One of the bottles.
Oh, you had both bottles, eh? So,
Yeah.
so they're floating in the springs,
Yeah.
and they'd be the sledge one itself. It looks like the bottle itself is sinking. The Venus one is still floating, but you can see like water flushing into it and they flushing out of
Can I
it.
make a personal
Hurry, get to it.
1d20 roll for myself just to see my inebriated actions?
Wait, what?
I just want to make a 1d20
Kaine.
roll for myself
Kaine, get the
to
bottles.
see if I would do something while I'm drunk.
Oh yeah, sorry. You want? Yeah. No, I've had players do that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I grab the closest bottle?
Sure.
I pick it up and start pouring it on Zukk.
I'm just holding onto the side of the pool. I'm not,
Sorry.
I can't even swim. I'm
Sorry.
just holding
Right.
onto
The
the
roll
side.
wasn't very good. I apologize.
He's face down. All right, I go.
How does it
taste, Zukk?
I go and dive into the water.
You
I
get
go
him.
lift
Yeah.
his-
You
lift his
pull him
head
up.
out of the-
Oh. Some water comes out, a little black sledge out of his lips, and you can see like some like fly wings attached to his lips and stuff.
And a smile on his face.
Oh yeah, no, it's very euphoric. But yeah, you're out. He's gone out.
Can I check his condition to see like is he like okay or is he
Do a
like, is he
medicine
just
check.
like really drunk? Or... 15.
15. There's a pulse to him. You pulled him out. You're thinking he may have swallowed some water, but when you initially pulled him out, he coughed up.
Alright.
Seems alright. He's breathing normally. Well, not normally, but a foul smell comes out of his breath, like foul. Like it's a mix of vomit and like hard-boiled egg. And soot. Sorry, and like there's like a burnt smell to it too.
Gavin did tell me they were strong. But why would you waste it on me?
I'm
just
gonna-
dunk myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drag Rakell over to his chambers and I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Zukk, you're still in the room?
Yes.
Roll a perception check for him. Kaine, you can too, but with disadvantage.
Absolutely.
8.
Somehow I'm more perceptive than him. 9?
Just like playing pool, man. You get to be a little bit better. No, you guys don't notice nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all good. You see everything. The water dripped out of pulling Rakell back.
Zukk.
Tim's in the water with me though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He can swim.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope you're not that mean to him.
Oh no. Tim's in the water.
Teaching him.
He's
Tim.
beside me.
Yeah. He's swimming around. He's having a good time. You see him even roll around on his back, and he's like rubbing his belly and having a good time. He doesn't stay in it too long because it is warm.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets out on it, gives himself a little shake, and like sits there and keeps like dipping his head in a little bit, and then like coming out, and then like he's cleaning himself off. He's been through some shit too.
Zukk, can you answer something for me?
I don't know, maybe.
Why don't you and Graff just have fun?
Is this your idea of fun?
What's not fun about this?
I'm just gonna look around. Like, I mean, I'm having fun without being absolutely inebriated.
Like dragging Rakell off the room.
Your friend is.
For his size right now, he does feel heavier than
Does
usual.
he?
Yeah.
Really?
Just a bit, like
So
not
it's
just a
taking
little
You
noticeable.
wouldn't understand. You didn't, like, just have a little bit. I, like, shake the jug, a little bit left. Just have a sip.
It looks like your bottle is boiling. It's been in the springs for so long.
It's probably just
Yeah,
better.
there is some condensation in the bottle now. Like it's mixed with spring water
Just let
and
loose. We got no
the
worries
flies.
right
The
now.
the
We're on
black
day
liquid
off.
didn't take anything in it.
No, but that's okay. I'm okay with this. I'm gonna get out of the pool now after I kind of clean
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
off.
I just go in back. I just go around the pool on my back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't drown.
Roll an athletics check for me with disadvantage.
Hey, that's a 16.
Surprisingly well, he's doing the backstroke, and you're like, how the hell is he so coordinated?
Shake it.
And singing too. Good acoustics in here too. You didn't know Kaine can sing.
Interesting.
While this is going on,
Yeah.
I would have talked to Jane. Jane, can you maybe work on analyzing those weapons from that video while we're kind of taking a break here?
Yeah, she can't. Sorry, I was just trying to think. Yeah,
Oh,
she
sorry,
already
from-
spent. No, she spent 8 hours in the new capsule. So yeah, she's good.
Yeah, we slept overnight since then. So
She could tell you that she's been trying to run on it. It's nothing that's ever been brought to her attention or thing, but she will keep an eye out. She will. I don't need to phrase this way. But she's going to keep in a note or a scan central that if she ever sees whatever material it was made of, since she wasn't there, she's just playing a vision she saw.
yeah, just details. of
Yeah,
that
little
information.
things like that she'll keep. Yes, because it is similar to an AI, so
Yeah.
it will take as many notes as it can.
Perfect.
So sorry, S Club party here. Anything else you want to do as you do the backstroke?
No, I
Okay.
would imagine I'd do that until I kind of get my.
Yeah, you guys have had a one-on-one. This is Zukk and Kaine have had their moment of actually conversing without Graff around. You guys are getting to know each other. Anything else? Sorry,
I'm
Graff?
gonna yell at.
Or Zukk? Sorry.
Kaine. Which way was our rooms from here?
No, just out the hall. You know, you go down the hall and then they're right there.
Walking through these corridors, those Zukk,
That's my response.
you would have noticed. Like I said, there's not many doorways in this section, but it looks like every quarters around here is a living section. This is the bathing room.
There's
There's
like a
food-
water trail. From
I
my,
mean,
like,
Why don't
Oh, yeah.
you just use the pin?
The place is kept quite clean, but with groundskeeper Gavin working around.
well, I'm gonna go to the room.
Why don't you just use the pin? Talk to Graff.
I don't know if it works
Oh
in the mountain
wait,
yet.
are
We haven't
you
really
that
tried.
smart? Yeah, okay. I see. Sorry.
Yeah, it's true. Who knows?
Okay.
I'd probably be back. From
yeah.
that time.
When you're back, Graff, just because you are one with your armor and love it, the armament position is 2 figures up.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing's changed. Well, you're probably pretty scared. Like, what the hell? Look at just the positioning of it. Looks like it's been changed a bit.
Jane, any idea why my armor's moved like this?
Jane went with you the whole time.
Yeah.
So she wasn't. No, I do not get any traces of any foreign anomalies, but just looks like it was moved into this position.
I'm just gonna like put them back down and start putting it back on.
Yeah, just do an investigation check
Sure.
for me here.
16.
It doesn't look like anything's missing or
Yeah.
anything's out of place. It just looks like somebody might have fucked with either Kaine or Zukk when you were watching.
Strange.
So you take your time, you get everything back up. Kaine, are you gonna stay in this room for the
No,
night?
I'm gonna get out.
Very pruny as you get
Yeah.
out.
I give it like the dog shake.
That's funny.
You do stumble a bit from the change of the temperature. You're holding on though. You're holding on.
Perfect.
You guys all make your way to your night to the quarters you guys will be staying
I'm
in.
gonna go to quarters, and I want to read up in my book of herbology
Okay.
on like using hops to make nectar.
Okay.
And just like that's it.
Yeah,
Just
they
like
heard
how
about.
to
No,
brew-
no.
how to
They'd
brew.
have there'd be
Just
certain
like
like hops and
obviously
plants. It
the
doesn't describe how to brew it. There's just mostly like little handwritten notes that like say like, oh, would be good for adding a veil or something. Just the whoever had it before has put his own notes in. So.
This is the funniest situation ever. You're gonna brew hops for beer for us so we can get shittered, but you
Well, you
guys
try
don't.
and force me to be alcoholic with you. Yes.
No, no. It's good. Hey, you're fueling your warrior. That's all. I
Exactly.
understand where you're going with this.
Their
It's
whole
good.
point, yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So after a stress-free evening, reminiscing over all the treacheries and whatnot that has transpired the nights before, even though it did sound silly from what Kaine and Rakell were doing, the stress meters that I've talked about have all been reset. Yeah, if they ever hit a note, I'll tell you immediately once a stress meter has been hit to the next level. You guys all rest up for the evening. You talk. Your exhaustion is gone. In the morning, you awaken to probably some moans and groans from these yahoos. Oh, but for now, I'm gonna say because of where you're staying, Rakell, your exhaustion is gone. But in future, note if you ever have a point of exhaustion and you decide to get inebriated and you do one of these pass-outs again, your exhaustion won't disappear.
I sleep better this way.
I stand corrected.
I sleep
Good
like
to
a
know.
baby.
Good to know.
Only way I can
Never mind. But on
I
that
get
note,
exhaustion if I
we
don't
will take a
sleep
break.
drunk.
So go refill your drinks. Hope you guys are enjoying our lovely little game here. Come back soon. Be about 15 minutes or so. Love you. Hey, welcome back, patrons. Hope your drink's filled and your plate's full too, as well. Sorry for the delay. Again, we're working with no moderator, but hey, we work with what we got. We're doing great, I assume. Soon we'll have a moderator, though. Promise you that. Anyways,
Graff's playing the
so
best of all.
yeah, Graff is doing an excellent job of being very in depth to the game as well as moderating. So if you ever see him listening to stuff, he's doing a lot, and he's still in character, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, he's still
And it suits.
he's that tech savvy.
He's maybe once you get your hand on some then maybe he has eyes laid up.
I'm gonna start my own.
Anyways, perfect.
Inside of the stream.
We were just talking about D&D Inception too. Eh? Yeah, that'd be good. All right. Anyways, so our adventuring party has found one with peace in the sanctuary of the Open Palm Monastery. Two of them getting a little carried away. Others just researching and taking what they need and doing their little things. So you guys have all rested up. Morning has upon with no wake up or anything like that. No noise. You just gradually wake up feeling very refreshed. Surprisingly, Rakell, not one of your worst hangovers, but you feel it. You feel it. You feel a little heavy, but not to the point of exhaustion. The day is yours. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna jump off my bed.
Mhm.
Alright, Tim, tis the day.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Tim down on my bed.
Today's the day.
Turn around, grab my rope, and I'm
We're
gonna
going
cut
with the
it
rope?
a little bit
Okay.
with my my knife. I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
turn around. Alright, Tim, let's do this.
All right.
I'm gonna
Little
give it
pep
to
talk. Tim looks at you, a little complexed.
We
You can already see the tongue coming out, ready to. You're going to do the gnaw back. Okay. Yeah.
Let's
All
do it,
right.
buddy.
You look back. Look back. Do an animal handling check for it.
As he does that, as he's going to chew, can I make like a wolf growl?
11.
Just try and scare
11?
him.
do an intimidation check.
Come on, buddy. We could do it.
You're all right.
Today's the day.
2.
2?
Yeah.
Tim looks at you, cowers for a bit, but this is the first time you've ever seen an animal almost like mock you for a second, and goes, and you got an 11, that was it?
Yeah.
11? You see him about to lick,
No.
then his eyes look up at you and his
Yes.
ears kind of
Yes,
turn
yes.
a little bit,
Keep gnawing.
and he starts slowly gnawing at it. He actually understands the command you're doing, gnaws at it, but then kind of stops halfway through, not even halfway through, just gnaws at it, looks, and then kind of looks at the pocket where you keep the cheese, and then like looks back down at the rope, and then just stops.
Did he nod? And I'm gonna.
He gnawed at it. He gnawed at it a bit, but then, because usually I
gonna
believe
pull
you
it
put
apart.
cheese on it, and
Yeah.
that's what makes him really go for it. This time he gnawed, realized there's no cheese, and then he just looks at you like he's like
Yeah. You'll get some.
little rat fist. Look,
Cheese here. All the way through. Pull it apart.
he kind of fuzz for you, but then goes to eating the cheese. But this is the first time you saw him like bite into it, and he pulled a few strands.
I'm
So
happy.
he sees.
We'll get it next time,
Yeah,
buddy.
he,
I'll give him some cheese.
yeah. You understand that he. Well, you and him both understand of what you're trying to accomplish. He just might need some more practice.
Perfect.
But for the
Very
first
good
time,
today, Tim.
for the first
Yes.
time, he didn't lick it. He actually gnawed
We
at it.
made progress.
I can't wait
And
to
I'm
tell
happy.
you. All right. So
Cow,
you
we
growled a
get some
bit
brekkie.
there. It echoed the chamber. Tim kind of shrugged it off, Kaine.
Yep.
But you guys are all up. What would you guys like to do?
I yell at the cow. Hey! How's your night?
Oh, and great.
How's your sleep?
Was drinking, and then I.
You remember seeing the beautiful falls of the sanctuary hot springs, but other than that, you don't really remember. The last thing you remember is doing a handstand.
Went out with a bang, I imagine.
Rakell.
Yeah. You almost died. I'm pretty sure you were dead for a couple seconds.
You may be in trouble. We kind of spoiled the springs with alcohol. You passed out with the jugs in the pool.
Oh,
And
yes. We don't have any more.
Just-
Yeah, sorry, the Dougie Doug Durgar, I
I
believe,
poured over
sank
his,
to the bottom.
Oh, and I
Because
poured
you
the
only
other
grabbed the
He poured-
Venus. I didn't hear
he
anybody.
poured the Venus over top of me.
Yeah, and the Venus flies, so there's only a little bit of that bottle left.
one. Just so you're aware.
I don't think we were ever in the springs last night.
Everything good there?
Oh, yeah.
Not that I
Just
can
changes
recall.
settings.
Yeah. No. What springs?
Straight to bed.
You don't remember that
Straight to
sweet
bed.
front flip, handstand?
I'm always doing
you-
those. You gotta be more specific.
I think we should get on with our day, though.
Yes.
Perhaps some breakfast. I like a Rakell. Like,
Absolutely.
where's the kitchen?
You know where the
Is
the
nature
food
ready?
quarters are.
Oh, be prepared for vegan breakfast.
It's up to you, Raquel. Do you remember there was a
All meat,
all
nothing
meat.
but meat.
maybe for your section of your study? You do find kind of like a pantry
No.
area.
Nice garden.
Sure, a cannibal.
Not a. You remember that in the Open Palm Monastery that they it wasn't seclusion, but they had like these specific sections for each of the ways of the monk. But yeah, you'd remember where your like little feasting hall was. You go there, looking around. Not a lot of food that's left there, but there are rations and dried meat and such, but not in abundance of it. Just small kept stuff that would be. Able for you guys to go walking out in the hall. No, you wouldn't really hear. Yeah, you guys find a little area. You find some dried meats. There's no one really around to tell you what not to do. So you guys find some.
Sit down.
There's nothing really fresh. Everything's pretty much dried and jerky and other such. Some potatoes and such, but not cooked or boiled. But there are means to make your own meal if you'd like.
So, back to business.
Yes, they're still following us.
Huh?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't linger in one spot too long.
Who's following us?
The
Oh.
Iron Reach. I
Yes.
imagine.
Sorry, I thought you were talking more.
A little sluggish from last night, but
Yeah.
it don't.
You alright, Kaine?
Yeah, sorry. It's been a,
How's your head today?
sorry, it's gonna be better after this
Yeah,
meal.
mine was sticky.
That was deserved.
Oh, also Tim looks very fluffy.
Yes.
Um, uh,
His ribbon is not clean.
I mentioned potentially locating the vault and maybe making that a base of operations. Is everyone still on board for that?
Yes, I think the sooner we can get this into an area where they don't know where it is all the time would be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess then the next, either we try and find it on our own, or we go to Rothschild and find the informant. Juke.
Would the Grand Masters here know anything about it, Rakell?
That is a good question.
That's a good question. We could go
Would
see
save
them and
us
ask.
a
Yeah,
trip
perhaps.
to
They
Rothschild.
seem pretty knowledgeable. So
Do you guys not want to go to Rothschild?
we can go to Rothschild.
Oh,
it's,
just-
not, it's not a big
I
deal.
don't
But
mind.
Okay.
it's
Just
it's-
curious if there was some
It's
bad
quite
blood
a
there.
ways in the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's south.
Yeah, no, it is south from where you are, but
Yeah, we have to get over to
We have to
Mountain
go
Range.
north.
traveling from where you guys are in the mountain range, even coming to the Open Palm Monastery there like that, it is very secluded and stuff like that, but you do see like another pathway that goes off into the mountains too as well. Like, sorry.
Do we have an actual name for this vault other than a vault?
Safe
Jane?
house?
There was some ruins, wasn't it?
Does Jane know?
Jane, do you remember the name of this place?
From my records, Vincent has only referred to it as the home of the Atlas program,
Oh, yes.
or by layman's terms, or from what the people have spoken of them as loot hunters. There has no name for the vault that Vincent has specified. Maybe finding out more information will reveal the name of the vault itself.
We should definitely DM. Silence your phone.
Sorry, Rakell might have just been talking to me telepathically.
No.
No. Sold. You
Sorry.
devious motherfucker.
Just coincidence. Anyways, continue, guys.
We should definitely ask the Grand Masters.
Mm-hmm.
You can go
Okay.
see them?
I'm sure we
Alright.
Do they have a library here?
Yeah.
Of course.
Where?
I'm
where
assuming
would
you've
that
never
be?
spent a minute in there, but
I can't read.
well, you
Likes
can.
me.
You just don't like
When
to.
you when you see straight,
It's not the same thing.
That might be.
Oh.
you know they have a. It is a library, but more or less just to old tomes of ways of the study of the martial arts. A couple of lower areas of where the other monasteries may reside, but you yourself, you didn't really get two shits. But you know they carry a lot of that and stuff more or less based on key. Even Redfin, when they pulled him out of retirement, really didn't bring you there.
No.
He taught you how to kick some ass.
We kicked the books and stuff like that, but we never read them.
I cringe.
That's right. Actually, he does remember balancing a couple of books on your hands,
Please no.
books on your other hand, books on your head, and then you guys just ended up kicking books at each other.
Is one of the Grandmasters more in tune with lore than the others?
Yes.
It's weird staring at.
I'll just ask them all collectively, though.
Well, we could, but maybe one kind of is a more of a
I mean,
lore.
perhaps we can get Gavin.
If
Gavin's
if
pretty
anyone, it'd be Grandmaster Dungar.
done.
Dungar, roll just an intelligence check for me. You're not exhausted. Oh, sorry, it's not even an ability check.
2.
2? Yeah, Dungar's the one to fucking go see, man. If you guys can find Dungar, for
Are
sure.
you sure, Rakell? I didn't get that vibe from.
He spent more time in the
Roll,
library than
roll an
anyone.
intelligence check.
Are we in the hallways?
No, we're
Well, you guys are still in your,
eating.
you're in the eating area.
We're just kind of mound food.
Perhaps we just ask Gavin.
For 20.
It would be very, although you don't know how the monastery acts, but for Dungar being a way of the Kensei, or Kensei, Kensei is a monk way of more or less weapons, and weapons martial arts style, like weapons become almost like an extension of their bodies.
Well,
Who's to say? Like, he may study that, but
it's,
even from the presence of him sitting there, it might. Who knows what Rakell's saying, but
You'd know better than me, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like the
Let's
type.
go ask Dunn.
Like I said, if anyone spent more time in the library hitting books than Redfin and I, it was Dungarth.
Let's go ask.
Okay, let's go ask him.
okay. You guys are going to make your way back to the ceremonial palm.
Yeah, if that's where they're. Is everyone there? Still all the Grandmasters?
Well, as you guys start walking up the steps, you guys can start hearing and like even light emanates from these stairways going up to it. There in the middle of the little well, not little, it's a pretty large arena area. You can see Kasaki and Alwyn, the female golden elf, fighting the Bart individual. And just as you enter the stairs, the room illuminates as you see Alwyn blowing fire out of his mouth as the elven females like doing the praying mantis matrix style in the air, like, and then like lands down, and you can see them sparring, while Armac is still sitting in his chair watching them spar. And this battle is a very fluid, almost ballet-esque, like almost choreographed, because like every attack looks to hit, yet they're just dodging out of the way, and it's just a hypnotic kind of dance that they're doing. You do get the sense of threat and violence, but at the same time, it's a very it's just like water, fluid. As you guys enter the steps, you just hear tukush as the staff that Armac holds to hit stone, and it just kind of echoes, and then they both stop, go down on the ground. You can see some vines that were coming out of the ground about to make their second attack go back in the ground and go into Alwyn.
Can I
Stand there, hands down, they look at each other, and then they stand very proud, staring at you guys entering in the room.
I bow to them.
I'd like to kind of analyze them and see how, comparing them to ourselves, how much more skilled they are than us. Sizing them up, basically.
Insight check.
No.
Say insight. That's judging one's character.
I follow Rakell's lead. See if he bows.
23.
23. Just with the display of the fire breath, as well as the secondary attack of these vines coming through the ground and going through, and none of them are breaking a sweat. Even the elven figure, who you guys, once again, elves are very rare to see, especially one with a golden colored skin. Like a Dragon Ball Z power level scaling, these guys are not just called Grandmasters for nothing. Even the way they moved, even though it was a fast-paced combat, even like at parts bullet time, like slow down like the Matrix, they were always in control, and it's you're very in awe of the power of these individuals.
It was incredible. Why didn't you do cool things like that, Rakell?
I do. You just never watched me.
In time, my little speck. Sorry, no offense. Redfin has walked up behind you guys. Walking, even blindfolded, walking like he knows the lay of the land, and behind you. Bows to you. Honor has not left you. I heard you had quite a extravagant evening in the springs.
Just like old times.
Good thing the water is hot and can decontaminate any beverage that was poured in it, as Gavin has told me. What can we help you with this morning? As you see these two prissy pantses doing their little dance.
That was so nice, though.
Quite an impressive display.
Very cool.
That it is. I can tell you for a fact, Kasaki was taking it easy on Elwyn.
Interesting.
I've never seen an elf with gold skin like her. What kind of elf is she?
She's the summer elf.
Interesting.
I guess.
From around here?
No, not from around here.
Sorry, Grandmaster. He is one with many questions.
That is good. Thirst the minds. At one point, you should have asked a lot of questions, but I got a kick out of you just running into things He pulls his blindfold even tighter. Blindfolded. Yeah, you guys get to, like, Redfin seems like the outcast of this group, but him and Rakell share similar personalities.
He's amazing.
Well,
What, you don't tell your friends about me?
Of course, I told them I learned from the best, and I start just covering my eyes and running in circles. But elegantly, like slipping and falling. And
as he hits his head, he kind of turns his direction to all you as if he's like looking at you guys. He's like, I have not always been blindfolded. Rakell's a little silly.
What Rakell was meaning to say is, we're here to ask Dungarth a question.
Why would you want to ask that silly cat questions?
Rakell has informed us he is...
Sorry, Tabaxi, I should be speaking properly with you.
He had informed us that he is knowledgeable in lore. And we were seeking an answer.
A lore of shiny weapons and pointy and protty and blunt objects. Yes, he is the one to speak of.
No, that's not what we're after. Rakell misled us.
Did you train with him ever, Rakell?
Rakell is still pulling the jokes. I like it. You can see now that Redfin's standing there. He has like a little tail with a little thin point to it.
You
kind of flickers a bit.
You say he's pulling a joke, but he was being serious.
That's serious.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Kaine?
Yes. Who would be the more appropriate person to ask a question about lore?
Oh, well then I'd probably ask Kasaki. She would know. She is the way of the sun soul, the way of life energy, and she studies the flow of the weave and much more. She's very stubborn, but she could probably help you with that.
Could you...
Do you want me to put in a good word for you?
I was just going to ask politely if you could...
Tough shit. Deal with it yourself.
All right, well...
Pats you on the back. No. It's alright.
That's what we have
Kasaki!
Rakell for.
Kasaki! You golden, beautiful broad of sun!
Oh, yeah.
Can you please enlighten my friends here? They have some lore questions. She looks very snobbish, like looks down kind of at you guys, but then a smile. If you insist, Redfin. But I do. These are my friends, my comrades, and it's Rakell. He's silly, but he means it. She starts walking to you guys, and the walk is more of a very graceful, almost like a float. She just kind of already up right to you guys. Staying there, arms.
Is she
No, her arms
attractive?
would be back. Very. She's very attractive. But everything is very concealed. There's just long hair, and she's elvish, so there is the
Does she remind
very
me
thinner.
of the half-elf that I seen in the... Remember at the
Yeah,
ceremony?
remember. Of course I remember. It's my world, buddy. Not just kidding. Our world.
Who do you think's been behind all these
She,
events?
no, she, she's, sorry, yeah, she, no, yeah, she is an elven. They do have very, beautiful, facial structures. She is a little bit, shorter and thinner, but, the other one you saw had a more your style, I guess.
Yeah. No,
Kasaki, she's more proper and more, a little intimidating because you just saw her do some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah.
I give her a very graceful bow. I get, was, if it's not too much to bother, I was just wondering if you perhaps know something about a vault from the Atlas program, Loot Hunter vault thingy in the
I'll make this easy. Jane, can you step in here?
I take a step
Thank
back.
you very much. This was quite painful to watch.
I don't. Weirdest look.
Jane will come.
I hope he doesn't do
You're
that in battle.
embarrassing me in
Oh,
front of the Grand Masters.
interesting.
Only I can embarrass
Do not rely on technology. Rely on yourself. But yes, this gem wants to talk to me.
What if the self is technology?
Sorry, what was that?
What if the self is technology?
Spoken with wisdom.
Damn, Graff's
I appreciate
outdoing
this.
me.
I can tell you it's not that hard. Jane, you just wanted to relay Vincent's message?
Just
There you
yeah,
go.
basically just answer the question
Yeah,
that
this
he
program.
or speak the question that Kaine was trying to
Purvey.
with dignity though.
The Atlas program. I've heard of them. And yes, layman's terms, they were just loot hunters to the normal common folk. They were quite renowned. They did have a base of operations where they would store great magical artifacts hidden from prying eyes and divination. As for what their base was called, I'm foggy on it.
What
You're
about
just,
a
sorry, you're just
location?
asking for the name or the location?
Both, if she has them.
As for the name, she does not recall what the name was.
That's okay.
Might
We'll
just
name
be
it ourselves.
Maybe one of her off days. Location in and around Helix, as well as the Fingers Ridge, somewhere in that territory. But as for the name of it, I am not too sure of. That would be more asked towards adventurers or wizards alike who help them protect their sanctuary. I myself am more of a teacher, not a adventurer.
Well, that kind of helps clarify just hearing it from you, just knowing that the location is somewhere in that area. That's
It is.
two people we've heard it from, so.
There is false locations to it as well, but I'm fairly certain that's where it is. I've had students seek out the help years ago from the Atlas program, and they were successful in their deeds.
I have one more question.
Yes, my stuttering noble.
Are you seeing anyone?
I
And-
smack Kaine in the back of the head.
I punch him in the knee.
You feel a second slap after Rakell hits you as Rakell hits it. You
As
do
you-
not,
sorry.
you do not cut my lawn, man. This is my lady here. She shakes her head. Male testosterone is. Test my patience, but yes, my patience.
What is it with you and elves?
Unfortunately,
What's going on?
unfortunately, my humanoid, I am not seeing anyone, and nor will I be seeing anyone. I've taken a stance on the life energy. I am waiting for my proper mate to come back from his journey.
I'll
His
be back
pilgrimage.
soon. I kind of say it under my breath, like. I just like turn away and I'm like
If-
super embarrassed. I don't know what's going on.
If
Kaine has no idea.
you would like to be up for consideration against my proper mate, please step into the ring and we shall see what you are capable of.
I
don't recommend that game.
I do.
Return.
This could be funny. This could be funny.
It would be sad.
So she's standing there very still, like, and just hands in kind of like a diamond shape in front of her. And
That battle earlier, she was going easy.
just, Finn listens in on you. Well, yeah, she was.
Who would I be battling?
Don't
You?
do it.
Yes. If you wanted to be considered to
I
be
could-
a proper mate.
Never harm you.
That is true, you could not.
You
I
flatter.
may allow you to leave on at least one knee if we step into the ring.
She's gonna take your leg.
We gotta leave today, Kane. This isn't a good idea.
Yeah,
But
perhaps
when I
a better
Wait,
question.
yeah, you guys
would
only
be
showed
like,
her Havlik in the floating thing, no dialogue of what happened during the Aberth Volley.
No,
Okay.
just
Yeah,
the pictures.
just two pictures. Perhaps when I return from my great, glorious adventure, I'll be back to woo you. Till then,
If you indeed want to woo me,
I'm sitting.
may I suggest getting a bouquet of experience?
where is that found?
Once you find that answer, then return to me.
I shall.
How about a map? Maybe can Redfin...
Yeah, change the subject.
Could we get a map by chance?
A map
Do you know if
to that
anybody wants
location.
me? Well, maybe just
I
a
think
map
it
in
is hard to
general
find.
of this lower like continent that we're on.
You had her.
We do have in our possession a road of the mountain ridge. There's several pathways that can lead you.
To the
Almost like
Atlas
it's sort of-
Corporation?
No, that
No.
place is not mapped out, and
Okay.
if you do
Just
find a map,
have the
be
ridge.
very cautious of
Yeah.
it
I don't know how to
because
spell
they
it.
are very.
That's what I didn't write down.
Hundreds
Being
of
a
the
very
lizard, tricky.
experienced adventurers, they have a way of hiding their past, but their only downfall was that they were seduced by fame. But they did keep their base of operations very recluse and secretive. That being said, a lot of their hangouts within civilizations and cities are quite known to certain people. Just a moment.
So you say you have a map of like different paths into the mountains?
In the mountains, yes.
Oh,
We have a place that, there it is. Because where you guys are is in there. There is the map she's speaking of. She will ask groundskeeper Gavin to go grab it for you guys. But it is pretty much where you guys are in the central mountain range that kind of goes across that vast area and then leads south to Rothschild. As well as it leads up into the thicker mountains that are adjacent and kitty corner to the Vast that reach out to this Fingers Ridge as well as to. So pretty much this is like a roadmap of trails through the mountain, not of the whole continent, but just of this area where you are. She'd go on to say that it is a pathway that they take when they do not want attention drawn on them, when they do have to transport other dangerous individuals for captivity or the artifacts that they're going to help or lessons that they need to go teach noble children. Noble families. Some of them hire them to train, not the grandmasters, but some of the students that they've trained.
Sounds perfect for us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My last question is, I mean, mountain bases usually aren't good if there's only the one entrance. So I'm assuming there's different exits.
Please, your friend seeks out knowledge. Knowledge is life, and knowledge is power.
She understands me.
I do. I respect it.
Maybe give
But
it a little
curiosity is very dangerous. You are just seeking out answers and knowledge, which is okay.
Yes.
Just if something looks odd or unfamiliar, do not go poking it or prodding it.
Always checks your facts.
Curiosity killed the tabaxi.
Yeah.
I will make sure he doesn't hear that, but
That's why I said it real quiet.
but yes, so she can provide you a map through the mountain ranges of certain little cities, as well as this map would lead the pathway to Aslan, as well as Slate, and this kind of the mountain ridge that you're in, the outskirts of the Tikon mountain range that surrounds Aslan.
Thank you.
Yeah, so she'll get you this. Yeah, for sure. Fast, nicely thing. You can try to hit on her. but
Well,
whatever.
while they're talking, I'm going to pull Rakell aside.
Mhm.
And, Rakell, do you think we should maybe warn them about the Iron Reach tracking us? They may come here.
Do I hear the sidebar?
I wouldn't have hit it from you. I would have just
Okay.
took Rakell
Yeah.
aside while they're talking.
Yeah, because the only person who's right with you right now is Redfin.
Mhm.
He seems to be more engaged with Alwyn, and Zukk has the conversation. Even Redfin's kind of curious of what Zuck's trying to get at.
Mhm.
Side note, Graff, that lady's beautiful. On a more serious note, that's why I'm trying to hush Zukk. I think we made a mistake of asking. We don't want people to know where we're going.
But if they're already tracking us, they know we're already here.
Yeah, but they don't know where we're going.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
If people don't know where we're going, they can't. It'll be harder for them to track.
That's a good point. But I'm just worried about them showing up here looking for us.
Well, that ship has sailed.
Oh, this monastery stood for hundreds and thousands of years.
I was just so engaged in your conversation.
That was
Apologize. Sorry,
Redfin. That was
Gabriel, get
Redfin.
back to me,
That was
get back to me.
Redfin.
Yeah, that was Redfin. Yeah.
Yeah. We both look at them and then go back to our conversation.
Big smile, and you can see the fangs on his there too.
Well,
Maybe tell the Grand Master Adwin? Armok, sorry. Armac.
He's still in the room. He's sitting
Yeah.
over there. You can see,
In private?
now that you guys are
Yeah.
talking, sorry, you're talking to Kasaki. She's engaged with Zukk right now. You guys are all talking. Redfin's beside you, but you can see Alwyn now talking to Armac.
Can Jane telepathically talk to someone? Like
she
Armac?
can,
Privately?
She can only talk to me telepathically. I
Not
believe.
yet.
She can't talk to other people yet.
She want to talk to you telepathically and people around the area.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, Rakell, correct me, but if we tell just Armok, and he can decide how to deal with it instead of spreading to everyone. I don't know what their rule of engagements here. Does everyone know
What do you think,
what shit's
Rakell?
going on?
Oh, if anything, I'd just tell Redfin. That's all I'd ever do. He always knows best.
This is.
Right up beside Rakell. Tell me what.
Oh,
Is
they're
that,
just-
is that your lady?
Oh, I wish.
Whose lady?
She would never lower herself down to me.
Who is her mate?
You really want to know?
I just look at Kaine.
Long story or short story?
Me or
If you could beat her in combat, yeah, she'd probably consider you.
do you have a
But
truck?
you can't. Sorry, what?
What?
Sorry, who?
What?
Okay, yeah.
What?
Maybe we should talk somewhere a little more private.
Don't be alarmed by me. It's all right.
I meant with you.
Oh, with me?
Yes.
Oh, sure. We have plenty of places we can go talk.
Wait, how many figures am I holding up?
4. Okay.
Amazing.
Looks are deceiving.
Yeah. Is there? Is it
Yeah,
on a
let's just go
serious?
down the
Completely
hallway.
serious?
Alright.
Is it- yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can go talk silently, no problem.
Perfect. We'll go down the
We just
hallway.
leave Zukk.
Should I be worried, Rick?
Well, this is during their conversation.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
all happening under Cal.
Yeah, that's what
you can
they're
see Zukk
we
book
just
open,
leave-
probably just like.
We just leave.
She's
Zukk
being very
there.
audible
Yeah.
with you and very upfront.
We'll be
with
right,
you
we'll be
talking.
right. When I walk by Zukk, we'll be right back. We're just gonna.
I'm.
You probably don't even realize we're going.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, she has a very hypnotic look to her. She's very, but she's
Yeah.
engaged with you and very respectful as she's talking. Always eye contact with you and whatever.
No. The last question I have for
Yeah.
is there different exits out of the monastery like than just the one exit we came into the mountain? 'Cause, like,
Oh yes,
kind
there
of-
is.
So there's different like shortcuts. Perfect.
This is in the barbaric.
It's like a stronghold.
You know the barbaric tongue. Yes, this is a monastery to us all, a place of peace, a place of sanctuary as well as serenity, and a place to train without being interrupted. But yes, if forces were to make their way here, we have ways of getting out and as ways of trapping them, as well as we have some defenses here.
Perfect.
And she like points to Armac.
Yeah. Just
Mhm.
imagine.
So, all right, as you're talking with her, still having this conversation, Redfin like leads you guys down the hallway, literally stops right around the corner. All right, what is the cat's fat? Let's talk.
Well, I'm just gonna take the device off my back and just set it in front of me.
Has some weight to it. You set it down. Interesting box. All right, cool. It has flashy light. That's cool.
There's a chance this is being tracked
Okay.
by the Iron Reach.
Oh shit.
The-
We know of the Iron Reach.
They're probably gonna.
They
show
should
up.
not have any battles with us.
You say that, but I think they're gonna show up.
Yes, we know what happened to Aberth. Very sad. Very, any refugees or anybody wanting to come for sanctuary, if you run into them, please tell them to come here. But
I'm
we will not outstep the balance to interrupt.
We think they're after this, and they-
I'm-
Oh, and you bring it here like all willy-nilly. Rakell, what the fuck? You put us in danger, you haven't seen you in a couple of years, you go off every night with your friend, you come back, you train, you're alright when you train, but then you come back and what the fuck?
we don't really have that many places we can
Have
go.
you heard of what happened to Abra?
We
Other
have,
than it just got
we have
destroyed?
seen it, well, it has been related to us of what happened.
And what? I'm just curious. What have you heard?
What we heard,
Yes.
that
How
Amber was destroyed
do you
by
know
the
any
Iron
of
Reach.
Do you know any details?
Like, what do you want? What, like, how? What time? What day?
No.
What are you asking for, you riddle man?
Do you know what the Iron Reach is capable of?
Yes,
You do.
I do.
I'm telepathically talking to Jane. She's gonna float up and she's just gonna project that one device that like knocked out all the arcane energy in that area and just show that.
Yes, it was actually Dungarth likes to get up and he likes the wind in his hair, so he got on the top of the mountain. But we felt this shake. Him and Armac were up there. They saw, as they said in the prophecy, the metal in the stars, right? We saw devastating, from our distance, it is quite a ways, but Armac and Dungarth, they very perceptive, unlike me. They saw it do an initial blast. Now, from us not being there to see this do this one blast, we do not know what the blast did, but we did not see any destruction or fire or anything like this. And sorry, you played that part of the video for
I
me?
guess you can't see it, but or can you? I don't know. I would play it, and back of my mind, I'd be like, oh, yeah, got a blindfold on it.
Yeah, for this part here,
Mhm.
he'd be like, what's going on? He'd hear a little hum from Jane, but he'd be like, no. But he goes in to describe that it does one blast, and then it did another blast. Yet, Dungarth and Armac said that they didn't see any buildings or any shrapnel or any destruction from this blast, but they felt it. They felt it in the earth, and Armac said for a point, just the radiant energy, even though it is, from our vantage point, it looks closer than it is, but a couple of days, even Armac felt his ki almost diminish for a moment. Armac he believes it was some form of absorption of magic or somewhat. Now, as for what the Iron Reach are capable of, they've been in secret for the last couple of years, but we did have a merchant come by about 2 months ago trying to spread the word of the Iron Reach and saying that they have something that could level the playing field pretty much, and we pay no mind to it. We do not like solicitors. We just told him to fuck right off. Well, we did not. I wanted to tell him to fuck right off, but Armac was very gentle. He offered him a room to stay here for the night. He may have spoken with Shadowfang, but that was about it, and nothing. But he seemed to have some agenda that we felt uncomfortable with, turned him on his way, and then he said he was heading to Azalin next.
Did you get a name? Sorry to interrupt you.
Nope.
Did I get the name?
Mm-hmm.
His name was Rock.
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 My concern, Redfin, and I apologize if I'm overstepping on bound, is that you don't fear the Iron Reach enough.
Oh, don't get us wrong. We do not underestimate them, but we do nothing to agitate them, or we do not believe they would come for us. We have nothing of importance for them. And if they do, we have the wall. The palm doors will not open for them, and it will take them some time to get in.
Graff,
That being said,
Yep.
Rakell, what the fuck? Bringing Bullseye to here, they throw darts, they hit us. What the fuck? But it's alright, we'll deal.
It wasn't my idea.
should we show them the rest of that video?
No, there's no
It's
time
full.
for it.
But if they can track this,
He's
then
blind.
yes, you
There's
do
more
not
than
stay in one
10
place for too long.
Yeah.
But from what Armac said, the metal in the sky, once it showed up first, it just appeared a good storm of chaos apart with red lightning and purple lightning, and then this device showed up in the air, very bright in color, with glyphs and whatnot on the sides of it. The initial blast dimmed the color to it. The final blast, it just became steel in the sky. But from the distance, we could make, Armac and Dungarth could make out that it had symbols on it.
Interesting.
Like with anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
great power.
Now you know why we're searching for this vault.
I still think that we should tell Armac and show him the full-length video.
If you want, I can relay this to Mac, or if you want to show them yourselves, go ahead.
I don't think they understand.
Oh, no. We understand
I mean,
we understand the graveness of this. Yes, do not get us wrong. We do understand. But Aberth itself has always been a little kid kicking the hornet's nest.
my concern is we showed up. We have the literal thing that they want. Okay? Comprehend? Okay. Your
Well,
doors are magical.
Somewhat, yes.
Yes. So big skyball metal.
More or
thing.
less, not really magical, but more key focused, yes.
So magical boom thingy comes and sucks all the magic. The doors are gonna open.
And if it does,
You
they have to
guys-
deal with us.
They have these weird Bowie crossbow things that shoot magic beams of instant death.
But, Kaine, I can tell you we are not an aggressor. We have not done anything to cross people's paths. The only issues we have is within house of people we may have trained that want to come back and prove their worth and sit on the palm. I do not see them wanting to bring all their forces to us. But,
Fine.
yes,
Fine.
this warning is appreciated. Do not get me wrong. I am not blowing this off. I am just more or less the type of person who...
I don't want it to be on my conscience if they come seeking answers for where we went, and when you are unable to provide them or don't want to provide them, that they exert some kind of force on you guys. That's my concern.
I'm getting excited with all this dirty talk. I like for someone to try to push us back and we come. But don't worry, we are
Fine.
not
That's the last you'll hear of it.
we are not sleeping on this case. We appreciate your wariness, but that being said, you guys will have to get the fuck out soon if this thing is being tracked.
that's
Right?
what
We
We
do
were
not
going
need
to
this
stay here
attention.
for a week.
If you want to, you can, but we cannot promise you protection.
You'd give us the boot if the Iron Reach showed up?
If it is for that item, we'd probably just give them that item.
You know. I just turn around. Fucking leave.
Not out of respect, but for the greater good and for the...
That would not be the greater good.
Are you positive that that's the item they are looking for? Are you sure that Aberth holds many things of power, as well as it is a place of power?
I'm
Armac believes that they were there for the rest of the power that laid in Aberth, as well as to seek vengeance on what these adventurers do.
fine. I'm not saying that they might have found what they wanted from Aberth, but they will come searching. Never mind. We best be on our way. Let's go get some.
I'm glad Rakell hangs with this guy. He's a little strong.
They keep me on my toes.
That is good.
Do you have any ale on you? Anthony?
On me?
Yes. Not for me, for Rakell. That was a lot of talking. I'm sure he's probably falling asleep now.
He reaches inside, pulls out what looks like to be like some peanut butter squash kind of bottle thing.
Oh, it's a
Pops
gourd.
it,
A gourd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hands it over to you.
First gourd.
Yeah. What's left is about a sip or two. Hands it to you.
Just to tickle the old trunk.
You know what, Rakell, keep it.
Like the whistle.
Oh, I get to keep the gourd.
Dude, you got a gourd.
All right. But if that's all you want to
We
talk
just
about-
felt like we wanted you
Well,
to know.
we. I appreciate the heads up. I will
Yeah.
tell on Mac and the rest of the fingers, and we will. We'll do what's necessary.
Wait.
Are you saying you're
Don't get
gonna-
us wrong. We're not going to lay down for these,
No,
but we are
I-
not going to assault.
I'm just wondering, are you guys gonna finger it out?
I just turn around and walk away.
He's hung out too long with you, Rakell. Serious. These Zaliber family. The Zaliber family must be so proud.
Sometimes I wonder who rubs off on who.
All right. Just a little Robin never hurt nobody. As they say, Robin is racing.
Isn't your name Robin?
Okay. So you've had your talk with
Okay, sorry.
you've had your talk with Kisaki and Redfin. You guys are all set up. You have all your
Has
information.
Gavin come back yet?
Huh?
Has Gavin come up with the map?
Gavin's come back with a map, as well as just it's literally just a very
Just some
a
paths
basic
and all that.
parchment with like little pretty much dotted line going across with like mountains drawn on some pages, a couple of crossroads, and then it shows one that has an arrow going to the closest settlement from them would be Rothschild from the mountain range out,
That's perfect.
and then as well, yeah, just some lines as well.
So just random paths. Perfect.
Yeah, random pass is very
Exactly what I want.
basic map, which I'll give you guys next game.
I think we best be on our way. Appreciate the hospitality, Redfin.
Thank you very much.
Do not thank
Please.
me.
Kazaki.
Well, pass.
Mhm. I have to pass on the message. Gavin's the one who does all the housekeeping. Poor guy.
I
Does a
look
great
at
job.
Kasaki.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a deep bow, not losing eye contact with him.
She keeps eye contact with you the whole way, like so much that it's almost uncomfortable, but at the same time.
Never.
Right on.
And then
Like a raging right
I,
now.
I get up and I'll be the first to leave.
Okay.
Gavin, I'll be back one day to see our herb garden again, and maybe I'll bring you some seeds on my journeys.
That would be excellent. I am only allowed to go so far out of the monastery.
What would they do without you here?
I don't know. I never asked.
It's because you're invaluable.
Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you again,
Trunk kind of
Gavin.
feels up a bit. Tail
And I'm gonna
waggles.
follow Robin.
Ears flip up. And yeah, you guys are going to leave.
Or at least, where did we put our carriage? I believe
It's-
we did.
Your
outside.
carriage is still outside. Your
I-
horses
I-
are
I dealt
tied
with it.
in the garden.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe.
outside.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Inside
I
the
couldn't remember
garden.
if we brought the
Ah.
carriage in or the horses.
We brought the
in.
horse.
You brought all the horses.
Horses
I'd
came
like
in,
to,
carriage stayed outside.
I would have grabbed a carrot at breakfast and gave it to Windjamin.
Okay.
Pat him on the
Yeah.
mane.
Well, you can see where they're tied up in the garden that they have horse feed in front of them
Yes,
and
I'll
whatnot.
go to Ace.
They're looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ace. Have some
Rested.
cheese. Ace eats everything. Don't judge Ace.
Okay. Any goodbyes or anything else you want to say to the masters or anything like that? You're just out the door, ready to go.
Good to
Pretty
go.
much.
Guys, saddle up. You have all your provisions, and so with the map you have, there is the route back to Aslan that goes up to Slate as well as there.
Before we leave.
But you do see on the map, as well as where you're standing, there is kind of the way the mountains kind of fold in on each other. There is a pathway going through there that will lead you deeper into the mountain range.
Would that lead us to Rothschild?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, from what you gather in the map, this pathway will guide you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, this pathway kind of goes down south along a ridge, and then you can see that it parts off, kind of go around the vast. There is a couple other landmarks on this map, but yeah.
Let's do it. Head out.
Perhaps we'll follow this trail.
So you're going to take the path that has not been ridden, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
That you guys haven't gone this way yet.
That's right.
Yes.
All right.
We'll go to the carriage first and grab the carriage.
Yeah.
I assume.
Grab your carriages. You have your provisions and rations.
I'd like to.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Did we ever get our healing ointments? And shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a castle.
Oh, you
yeah.
have them?
I don't know
How
what
many?
exactly.
You have a
but I-
pound of herbs, so half a
that's
pound
just-
of healing herbs, which is just 1d4 plus 1. The restoration herbs is so pretty much. Sorry,
Yeah.
weird to do it in weight, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say okay. You have 5 uses of the healing herbs, which is the 1d4 plus 1, and then you have 5 uses of a restoration herb,
Oh shit.
which is similar to a lesser restoration spell. Might not cure everything that the lesser restoration spell can do, but it might help you.
I'd like to inspect the cart, kind of see how mechanically fit it is and stuff, and make sure that we're not going to have any troubles on the road. And whatnot.
No, it was a fairly new cart. There was no damage done to it in Aslan and on your trails. The cask ale still cork in the barrel
Give it a
itself.
little Little hit, make sure it's really corked.
I give it a hug.
Tug.
I've missed you all.
I'll never let you out of my sight again. And I start kissing it.
Frick.
It's a good idea to fill up, though.
I know. What have they done to you?
Funny, you know.
Still 3/4 full.
Yeah.
So the skies themselves are quite blue as you guys will start making your way to the path.
I want to. I don't want to ride Ace. I'm gonna tie Ace up to the back of the cart, and I'm gonna sit in the cart in the carriage.
Sorry, you want to ride Ace, and then you want to tie him to a.
No, I don't.
Oh, you
wanna
don't
ride
want to.
I heard.
I heard I want to ride Ace, but tie him to the
I
wagon.
said I
Sorry,
don't
sorry.
wanna
No,
ride
sorry.
Ace.
Just clarification.
Sorry.
All right, so you sit in the wagon. You
I'm
have
gonna
time
sit
to
in the
yourself
wagon,
with you
yes.
and Tim.
And I'm just gonna keep an eye out for any type of like colors.
And I'm driving the cart.
All right. So,
Rear. Anything exciting?
as you guys go, the skies are blue. The creaks of the wooden wheels and the wagon truffling off, and the horse clopping as you guys are going down a path that you have not yet explored. And I will say we're just going to end it there for tonight. Before too much excitement.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Anyways, thank you all viewers for watching and enjoying our stream. Use Sirenscape for the music for tonight. And yeah, life's short. Be awesome to one another. And I guess we'll see you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Peace out.